First of all, thank you very much for coming on short notice. Lewis reached out to me.
No, I appreciate. I just reached out to Lewis and I gave him the option to punt.
Yeah.
Just because he hooked me up and did a great job on a video.
Yeah, I hear that's what he's doing now for you, working on some sort of.
This was a silly music video
Okay.
that he did during COVID.
Okay.
And he did a great job for almost nothing.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say, I don't want to do this without asking you, but I'm not asking you
Oh no,
for a
yeah.
favor.
Yeah.
Lewis is I want to do it.
He's a cool cat. After meeting him several times, really humble.
Yeah, he keeps showing up in my life. I mean, he was a bartender at probably 21, 22 years old when I first met him.
Okay.
It was called the Downtown Sports Lounge, and
Yeah.
he was acting and modeling in Philly and doing all
Okay.
kinds of stuff.
Was that here in this area that
Yeah,
you met him?
yeah.
Are you from this area?
Yeah.
Where about?
Lancaster.
Lancaster?
Yeah,
Okay.
In town. I've been a batch of other places, but this is always home.
Yeah.
And I always thought I'd be moving on, and
Sure.
I've done a lot less moving on than I expected, yes.
Yeah. I think the cool thing that I was kind of picking up about you is when he brought you to my attention was several things. Obviously, the work with the homeless that you're doing, I'd like to get into that. There's music, you got a band. I saw that as well. But you're also very well known. Now, there's a lot of people that know you. Obviously, when I connected with you on Facebook, a lot of mutual friends I could see. So talk to me about what it is you're doing, like this passion of yours, this drive. You talked to me, we texted back and forth. You mentioned that these days I feed the homeless, I'm taking, and you were helping the homeless one way or another.
Yeah, I have a couple of projects going on, and this was never my goal. And taking care of the homeless, I'm passionate about it, but that's not my passion in life.
Gotcha.
As soon as I can solve this and do something else,
Yeah.
the happier everybody will be.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So that's my goal.
Okay.
In fact, I thought 4 years ago, I thought I'd be doing a One Love World kind of tour,
Okay.
ambassador thing. And right now, I'm having a hard time getting porta potties for the homeless in Lancaster. So
Yeah.
until I can solve this little town,
Yeah.
but a lot of good things are happening. About 8 years ago,
Okay.
I sort of stumbled into this, found out there were homeless downtown.
Yeah.
And I was working with a young lady, getting her off heroin, and thought this would be a great project to give back and
Yeah.
take yourself out of the equation.
Okay.
And we checked it out, and there were plenty of homeless, and we started out with some packs of crackers and bottles of water and walked around and met some people and learned how to do this. And she moved on to bigger and better things with kids and a beautiful family.
Okay.
She graduated, and I'm still stuck here. But it's been a great trip, and I was never trying to change anything. I was just, I felt very comfortable doing this.
Yeah, you saw a need.
And the people were cool, were extremely cool to me and showed me how to do it better and how, what they needed and what worked and what they didn't need, you know.
Yeah.
So I continued this with only the thought of, I can't change your world. You got to walk whatever you got to walk. But let me make sure that you're not going to freeze to death. You have something to eat, and you know somebody loves you.
Yeah.
In the process.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until COVID happened, and they allowed encampments in town.
Okay.
And I got to study it pretty good, and to see that, hey, this is very manageable. And we could manage this with a little support, a little security, and just giving somebody a place to lay down.
Yeah.
And saying, this is yours. If you take care of this area,
you
got to keep it clean, and you got to respect the people and the property around you. We'll start from there.
Okay.
And just as security of knowing that you have a definite place to lay down. Your stuff's not going to get robbed. You can leave it here. You can go make your appointments out without carrying everything you own with you, or telling somebody to watch your stuff for an hour and your appointment takes 3 hours and your stuff's gone.
Yeah.
There's just so much. So I wrote a booklet called, I'll think of the name of it.
You wrote a booklet or a book?
It was a booklet.
Gotcha.
24-page booklet.
Okay.
I'll think of the name. I don't know why I can't think of the name.
It's all good.
But and it was just to get people to think of, it's called a fresh approach.
Okay.
Let's look at this in a different way.
Okay.
And Lancaster is a chase instead of embrace.
Okay.
They just chase them away and pretend
that's
going to change something, and all it does is chase them around.
It just puts them somewhere else. Yeah.
Right. And instead of a place where it's secure and they are out of the way, even though it looks like what it is, they put them to places where they're forced to find shelter in somebody's stoop, or you know what I mean. You're either on private property or public property, so whatever you do, you're arrestable at any given moment. But instead of having a secure place out of the weather, they just decide at any given moment, get up, move on.
Okay.
So through that, I wrote this booklet, which got used. Millersville University put a couple courses together just on that.
Okay.
And they were using it to train local police and law enforcement. But it really never changed anything or anybody as far as policies or the way we deal with it. And that was frustrating. And I kept hearing and reading all the city and the counties complain about how terrible the homeless are and how bad they are for Lancaster and how dirty they are. So as soon as my winter projects, it's called My People on the Streets.
Okay.
And what I do from December through April, 3 nights a week, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, I go out like at 9:15, 9:30, after everybody that's going to be in the shelter goes into the shelter, and deal with the people that are sleeping on the concrete. And I go out with food, and in the bags are socks, hand warmers, snacks, some fruit, and truck full of clothes, sleeping bags, blankets. So I see what they need and
Yeah.
take care of them and hang out with them. And
Yeah.
yeah, I have people. This is my 8th year of doing that, and there are folks that have been there way before I got there. I mean,
Okay.
some of them are pros,
Yeah.
and they're dear friends of mine by now.
Yeah.
You know, and some are brand new, and some are transit. You'll see night or two, and then you won't see them again. But at the end of last April, I was so fed up with nobody doing anything or thinking that they're even capable of doing anything. So I started something called My People Clean Up,
Okay.
and that and as soon as I was done begging for socks for
Okay.
the winter,
Yeah.
I started begging for $20,
Yeah. Yeah.
$20 bills. So what I started was at Colleton Park and Binns Park and Linear Park. I hired 3 of my homeless friends
Okay.
to clean up every day, just clean that public area
Yeah.
for $20 a piece. And they were grateful for it. They did a great job. And at Colleton Park, which is the old Farnham Field, baseball field, I don't know if you know. It's right behind Water Street.
Oh yeah.
Rescue Mission.
Yeah. Okay.
Water
Yep.
Street, Conestoga, and
Yeah. The baseball
Farnham.
field there, though. Yeah.
Yeah. But that place, there was a lot of homeless people living in there, and
Yeah.
it was a mess. And there was a young lady named Michelle that lives there, and she's like the mom of the place. So I hired her to do the cleaning there.
Okay.
And what she did was she mommed it up.
Yeah.
Hey, don't mess up. Michelle's got it clean. She turned,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
turned it into an encampment.
There you go.
And then, unbeknownst to me, but the area is called SOE, Southwest Lancaster, and they have a residential group that is funded. They it's like a board or whatever,
Okay.
and their director Amos Stolzfus reached out to the city, and the parks head of the parks reached out to the city. Hey, what's going on there? Why is this park usable again? Why? And then Jess King, who worked for the mayor, she got a hold of me and put the 3 of us together. Because, hey, apparently your program's making a difference. They want to know why the park's usable again.
Yeah.
And so we got together, and him and Stolzfus, we had a couple of beers and some great conversations, and they put porta potties out finally. They came out and got to meet the residents of the park. All kind of cool stuff started happening. Everybody was getting along, and then they started. Amos said, "Hey, we want to pay for our cleaner," and I said, "How about some group cleanups?" So we do every other Wednesday. We do a group cleanup there, and now 30 homeless people are walking from all over town to meet there,
Wow.
and we go clean for blocks and blocks around the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and it is so amazing. These people, walk 6-8 blocks to come walk 6-8 blocks to happily clean up trash.
Yeah.
We'll cook out and invite the whole neighborhood,
Yeah.
and the whole community is eating together, enjoying each other.
Yeah.
My cleaners, are begging for more work to do, and I have none, and I'd like to do that. But if you have 30 people willing to walk that far, to walk for an hour, to make a $20 bill,
Yeah.
they're not lazy. We got to figure out,
Right.
let's figure out something productive for them to do that will be helpful and maybe even profitable, or
Yeah.
so it pays for themselves.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't care what your addictions are, what paperwork you do or don't have. If you're going to work for an hour and a half,
Yeah, especially walk that far to do it.
right, you deserve a $20
Yeah.
bill. Thank you for a great job, and everybody is just so grateful and happy. And
Yeah, I think it's a great way too. Also, and like I just was letting you talk because I genuinely I like to just kind of get a feel first before I start asking questions, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a really cool and dope way to really look at how a community thrives where other people probably wouldn't put consideration into thinking about it because it's the stigma of the homeless. And so here you are saying, listen, there are people that are walking just to make $20. You said it yourself, they're not lazy. So to be able to shine a light and to really look at how in depth of a community that has been created just at that park, for example, is pretty remarkable. Like it really is, because the first thing it's doing to me is like, wow, like what they're doing, they're cleaning trash that they probably most likely never even they're walking from miles away.
Oh, yeah.
So they never even made that trash.
Right, and
you couldn't pay other people to do that,
No,
but
some-
they're doing it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's that like that really is like the grassroots, the like epitome of what a community I feel like is, where it's just like, I don't care what it is, where it came from, but if it needs to go, we can all work together to get it done. And these are people that don't have a home. They don't have anywhere to go. They just know, I want to get that $20. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And I'm willing to do it with people that I don't know and bond and get to know. You're doing that at different spots. It seems like that creating that ability to create those moments in that community is happening in different locations through the programs that you're creating.
right, I want to spread out the group cleanups eventually, but
Yeah.
right now I have 7 or 8 daily cleaners
Okay.
at different areas of Lancaster.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, we're about $1,200 a week just in that.
Yeah.
Then you get 30 people out every other week. There's $600 plus a lunch.
Yeah.
But it's productive, and what was I going to say? And the mental health of the people, and the people that moved on and went to rehab and got jobs and live in houses now. I mean, things are happening.
Yeah. That's happened through the programs that you've
Yes,
created.
I'm not taking.
Sure. No, but it
takes
is what it is.
2 weeks for somebody to get moving again,
Okay.
to start to remember who they are, who they were, and what they liked, and there is something to do. And
When you say that, forgive me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but when you say to remember who they are, what do you mean by that?
okay,
They get lost in where they are in life, that they just,
once you hit the streets,
yeah.
there's like a 2-week window, I'd say, from what I've noticed,
Okay.
until you're into the homeless community,
Okay.
and that's your community, and it is a community.
Yeah.
It might not be the best, but it's the best anyone's offering.
Sure.
And once it's yours, most of them don't get a chance to talk to an unhomeless person during the day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Nobody saying, "Hey, come help make sandwiches
Yeah.
at the churches."
Yeah.
They hand it out, but they don't include anybody.
Yeah.
So it's
So the life that they lived, kind of like, and I'm naive in this, which is why I'm asking, because I'm trying to put myself in that position. I didn't think about that. You said there's a 2-week window. Is that you said becoming homeless and or going from homeless into transitioning into a job in a house? There's this process that takes.
right. If something good can grab you,
Gotcha.
or if you're just
Gotcha. Yeah.
stumbling here and you needed that next paycheck or whatever, you're gone. But once this is your community, you learn how to get better at being homeless. And
Yeah. Yeah.
not looking to
Okay.
get out of it.
I got you now.
If And I'm not saying everybody, but the general consensus.
Sure, yeah.
So, and once you are in there for any length of time, you just quit thinking about how to get back on your feet. You just think about how to survive, and
Sure.
you're in survival mode.
Yeah,
You know, you start sleeping with one eye open all the time, and
yeah,
everything changes in you.
yeah.
And, you know, if the drug dealers are, I mean, yeah, there's so much to this, but
Sure.
the drug dealers are the meet and greet.
Okay. Okay.
So if nobody's saying, "Hey, come here, come on with me,"
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, I got you. They are,
Yeah.
you know, and after
if-
two
and they're
after
vulnerable
2 weeks
enough.
of being scared to death and staying
Sure.
away from everybody, and you know, the colder it gets, the worse it gets, and
Yeah.
you know, somebody's kindness will mean the world to you. And
Sure.
so, you know, my thought process is, let's learn from them. We got to be as good as they are or better, and offer a better community.
Fair enough.
And you need something productive to do,
Yeah.
or you're going to go down that road, because numb is the best way to get through it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to get numb if
to-
you're going to do that month after month.
Yeah.
Or you have to be extremely strong and independent.
Gotcha. Yeah. I can imagine the thought process of when you said that you're no longer really trying to get out of it, you're just trying to survive. And so it just becomes a matter of, it is what it is. This is where I am. And you have to be numb. I'm assuming like the thick skin mentality, right? Or you just got to be able to keep your wits about you. Because people are being taken advantage of. You mentioned the drug dealers are coming in. It's the meet and greet. There's a vulnerability that's being taken advantage of with the homeless in that regard. You're coming in and filling a need on the opposite spectrum, though, where you're providing stability and safety. And I'm assuming that the response you're getting from the homeless community is overwhelmingly positive, just off of everything you've been telling
Oh,
me.
for sure. And the best tool is, it's so good to see you. You want to knock them off balance.
Yeah, because they're used to otherwise.
So used to, nobody wants to look at them. You're out of here. Everybody diverts their eyes. But yeah, everything needs to be. It's good to see. Like, I'll be delivering in 25-degree nights. They'll be in their sleeping bag, and coming at you with food, and they'll struggle to wake up just to hear me say, "Hey, it's good to see you. Do you need anything?" And they'll get this smile on their face. Just
Yeah,
say, "No, I'm okay, thanks." But they just wanted to fight that sleep to wake up to hear somebody say, "It's good to see you."
yeah. That's got to be something that, as a person, as people, we take that for granted for the most part. The ability to have the everyday conversation, the greeting, the hello, how are you, how's your day, where the homeless community doesn't get that for the better part of their experiences being homeless. And so for you to give them that, a lot of the things that I'm grabbing from this conversation is like, there's a lot of humility. There's a lot of like the little things that we take for granted, that they are just wanting that. I go back to the walking miles just to clean up trash, being able to have a conversation with somebody. What are some of the things in this 8-year experience that you've learned about or learned from the homeless community in regards to humanity?
Oh, I don't know. I continue learning.
Yeah.
I mean, just the Colden Park, and this Michelle, she's like God's little hot mess.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I got you.
she's got addiction. She's got Crohn's disease.
I thought you meant she was a firecracker. Forgive me.
she's everything.
You said she was keeping things in order with the.
Wait.
I didn't mean to laugh. I wasn't.
No, she's funny.
I misunderstood you.
I call her God's hot little mess. But she will come up with the most godly advice how to do something. She will deflect.
Okay.
Bring peace to where there's a mess.
Yeah.
Just stupid things that I never think of. Like one time we were doing a group cleanup, and there was 18-year-olders and 20-year-olders hanging out in the pavilion.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to organize this stuff, and I said, "Hey guys, could you?"
Yeah.
And she stopped me. She says, "Dave, this is their park. We're allowed to use it for now. We ought to thank them, not chase them out."
Wow. The perspective there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, "You're like,
Yeah.
it just floors me."
Yeah.
She, when they put the porta potty in and we're starting to treat the people better, about the change in them, she says, they treated us like animals and we acted like animals. They're starting to treat us like humans and we're humans again. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And that's all we have to do.
Yeah.
And she's right. And another quote that gives me goosebumps. It's the insanity of the well people that is the brokenness of the homeless.
Wow.
Yeah. She wrote that. She wrote that to me.
Wow.
That's fantastic. Right?
It's right on the
Yeah,
nail.
it's goosebumps every time.
Yeah.
Okay, so Culleton Park is like this success story, and I'm telling you success in so many peripheral things happen.
Yeah.
So, there's these Mennonite ladies that come to the park and bring food and this. But now, like every Sunday, they show up in their big black 12-passenger van.
Yeah.
Pick my ragtag cleaners. I mean, if I showed up there on a Sunday, I had to pay one of my cleaners because they weren't there Saturday. I show up there at noon, and here pulls this black van, and these guys come pouring out of it. Look, like if you were downtown, you'd lock your doors.
Yeah.
I say, "What are you guys doing?" "Oh, we just got back from church." They take them to the church, and then they go out for breakfast. And I didn't even know this was happening.
Okay.
But, I mean, these are the things that neighbors are taking other guys to job interviews that I'm finding, like, this has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But, and I love that it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But this community is one community.
Right.
And a little bit of cleaning started it.
Right. There's only so much that one person can do, though. So the goal, I would think, is to get more people involved.
Right, but once people aren't scared and they know they're allowed to help,
Yeah.
they bring their kids down.
Yeah.
Everybody has dogs.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And no, the park isn't the place we should have our homeless people. I mean, a park should be a park.
Sure.
But until we do something better, which I'm really working towards, it's the best that we have.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that was my next question, where it's I think one of the things, and obviously I would like you to fill me in, like the perception that that homeless people are lazy, or that the work that's being done is like a Band-Aid. But you mentioned a couple things. You said you help them get jobs one way or another. They've gone on and gotten jobs, gotten homes. So there's a ladder of progress that's being instituted, so to speak, through the work that you're doing. Can you share with me, like, what is some of the things that you're trying to incorporate, some of the things to make it better, like you just alluded to, in regards to helping the homeless, but then also like how can we get the homeless to a point where they are no longer homeless, where they're thriving?
Okay, the end game for a lot is the toughest part because there's not many homes available.
Yeah.
Housing is too expensive. Okay, but self-sufficient, and everybody. I mean, I have beautiful people with mental issues, and they're only going to get so far. But
Sure.
that was 10 times further than they were.
Yeah.
And they do a great job cleaning for me, and they'll do as much as I give them, and they pick up every cigarette butt, and they are grateful, and they, since they started this, their mental health it's 10 times better than it was prior to it.
Yeah.
And they haven't been arrested like they get arrested for screaming or what.
Yeah.
They're so much more balanced.
Okay.
Okay. I have some people that after 2 weeks of cleaning decided to go into rehab and then came out.
Okay.
And I said, if once you're out, look me up.
Yeah.
And then they went cleaning, got into a halfway house. Now they're full-time employees or employment. And the biggest hug whenever you see them.
Yeah.
And they still check on other people. And yeah, I had 2 guys that ended up, one got a full-time job at detail shop at Mannheim Auction.
Okay. Okay.
And then the guy that replaced him 2 weeks later, he took a job at some sort of rehab for older people,
Yeah.
But everything seems to happen in 2 weeks if it's going to happen quickly. And there's other people that are just happily doing their job.
Yeah.
And some of them are walking from Colleton Park. I hired a lot of people out of Colleton Park just because I got to know them and they were begging. They got to see how good everything was getting. And can I have some?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd never have enough. I mean, I have 10 people that want, but from Colleton Park to Reservoir Park every morning at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
To Musser Park from.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
doing that and coming back.
Yeah.
And meeting there to get paid at 9:30, 10 o'clock. And happily
Right.
do it. And thanking me for the opportunity. And, I'm thanking them.
Yeah.
No, and everything's a hug. Okay, and then at some point, I forget what month, maybe August, the Food Hub, Lancaster County Food Hub,
Okay.
invited me to partner up so they liked the program, saw the results. Some of their clients were cleaning up for me, and they got to see
Yeah.
how well they were doing. So they brought me in, and now people can donate to them towards this project. Now it's called HandUp Partners,
Yeah.
and then it's tax deductible now.
Okay.
So and plus they do the book work and off all the office stuff of it.
Gotcha.
But now I have just this week, some of the people that stay at the day shelter doing some of the work that it takes to get done for my delivering
Okay.
in the evenings,
Okay.
like cutting the plastic out of the socks that get donated to me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or I have plastic baggies that I put hand warmers in the community meal schedule and wet naps and razors in, and just people that are just sitting there. And that's what the day shelters are. They just have people a place to sit there.
Yeah.
Nothing takes anybody away from being homeless for
Yeah.
like a movie, a painting class, a drum circle, anything, just not to feel homeless for 2 hours.
Right.
I mean, I have so much that I'd like to bring in, and that yeah, lots happening since I started this. My people clean up, which is now HandUp Partner.
Okay.
So that was like 7 months ago, and it went
Okay.
7, 8 months ago. So it went from
That to
an idea to
yeah.
10 people doing it and group cleanups, and so it. I'm excited. Like when you're in the middle of it, it's hard to see.
Well, I was about to say, do you ever take time to sit back and be like, damn, I really I did this, but not in a cocky way, I put myself in a position to be useful and it's making a difference. This can be done.
Yeah, what I did, I was looking at the problems of it, and we were heading towards the end of the year,
Yeah.
and I wanted to look how I can make this better, stronger. I did like an assessment,
Okay.
and I had notes
Sure.
by the date. And what I'm seeing, they should have a paid, extremely kind and qualified outreach worker dealing with the cleaners that could spend more time with them, and a lot more productive things would happen quicker. And like, some of the guys I see a couple times a week, and some of them I'll only see on weekends. I have somebody else handing them the money. And sometimes they'll slip or
Yeah.
in between my visits and hanging out. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I know it would be a lot more productive to have somebody that can follow up on everything and see them more times a week
Sure.
and do that. But I got to earn a living too.
Yeah.
But, I was seeing that, and but all of a sudden I saw this written down. Oh, shit, it was 7 months and all this is happening.
It's like, wow.
Hey, look. Now, but when you're in the middle of it,
Yeah.
it's so hard to see.
Absolutely, man.
So that was, whoa. But I don't want it not to get stronger and better. You know what I mean?
Okay.
For me I don't want it to coast as it is. It should be a
Gotcha.
stronger project that has the whole
Yeah.
thing. But but then again, this all relies on you're fighting the cops not to kick everybody out.
Yeah.
And it's all. When Zoe put in a porta potty, that solved everything. I told everybody they were humans.
Yeah.
I can't get one down at Ben's Park. Closest I could get is like 2 blocks away.
You think that's because of the whole construction that just took place there? Or do you think they're trying
No,
to
it's because, like, if I was in charge of people, be it the city, the county, or the homeless coalition,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that people needed to use a bathroom as a human,
Sure. Yeah.
you have 30 people, 40 people, they need a bathroom.
Yeah.
If I didn't know that, I should not be in charge of anybody.
Sure.
And if I do know that and don't do it, I should be in jail.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you're either evil or you're not very bright. Every human being I've met in any position, I get along with them fine. I'm not judging,
Yeah.
But as a group, I wouldn't let them watch a dog for a weekend.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
So I don't know what to do. I mean, all I'm doing is I go to city council meetings, and that got us 1.5 blocks away.
Yeah, that was another question. Like, what is that shit like when you said in the very beginning when COVID hit, it really what did you say in regards to COVID? You were able to see things a little bit better because of COVID.
Oh.
What was the difference between before COVID, and what were you seeing more after?
Okay, encampments were allowed. The cops weren't chasing everybody.
The cops kind of laid off a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yes, lay down, don't break them up. But, and I was just doing my nighttime thing. But there was only one outreach worker out of everybody that wasn't working from home.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
You don't,
Yeah.
I don't know what an outreach worker.
What kind of
doing
what kind of outreach are you doing if you're not reaching past your front door?
Yeah, that was my fault. But this girl was kick ass, and her and I just did whatever needed done, and we're calling, hey, you got this, you got any of that, or so and so needs that, but what I got to see is how relaxed people got when they knew they could lay down, when they knew they weren't getting chased out. But that was wonderful, especially the mentally ill. They were so much calmer. But what else I got to see was the drug dealers who I feed. I have no problem with them. They're doing their job.
Yeah.
And the only reason they're coming in is because nobody's telling them no.
Yeah.
And I can't tell. You know what I mean?
I dig it.
You have to be consistent with it. And we're all grown ups and whatever. So I was begging the authorities, hey, let's get a strong security guard that can protect the people and have some semblance. And we just kick out the drug dealers, and drug dealers have no problem with that. They know they're not supposed to be in there, and the only reason they are is because you let them.
Yeah.
And they could do it over there, no problem. But here should be a safe place. But you had a better chance of getting addicted to heroin than you did of getting any help from any of the system.
Yeah.
So that was completely frustrating. It's like they were breeding drug addicts instead of.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what they wanted. But another thing I got to learn, and I don't mean this in any degrading way, except for this is the way I see the homeless community as a community is like a 9th grade field trip without a chaperone.
Okay.
I mean, it's just the way you have to think.
Yeah.
Yeah. People will do absolutely nothing all day if you don't have something for them to do. Some people will be fine on their own and do whatever. Other people will follow whoever does this. But the whole thing's like a 9th grade mentality. And if you look at it like that, it's kind of easy to manage.
Okay, I see what you mean.
And that's not degrading to an individual. It's just the look, how it should be dealt with.
Yeah. There's also a lack of empathy and sympathy from the general public in this regard, I would think, because I didn't think of it like that until you just mentioned it. And then when you did, it made sense to me. You're dealing with the politics, so to speak, one way or another. At what point does this, I know you mentioned 8 years ago is when it started for you, but was this always something that you had a soft spot for in regards to like the community and seeing what was going on and wanting to be some sort of bridge?
Now, people in the underdog always been.
Okay. You've always rooted for the underdog?
Yeah, or when you see something needed done or needed help, you just did it.
Yeah.
But no, the homeless were never. I didn't even know we had them till I was sitting at a bar and a friend of mine said, "Yeah, I was just giving sandwiches out to the homeless." I said, "What homeless?"
Really?
He said, "Oh, there's a bunch of them at Vince Park." I said, "Really?" And with that young lady, we were doing a little project at the Boys and Girls Club, just furnishes them with snacks and drinks, and they got a new management and didn't need what we were doing anymore. So I said, "Oh, this is something to check out for her."
Gotcha.
And that's the only reason it happened.
You said you're born and raised here in Lancaster?
Best they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born here.
Yeah. What was your upbringing like? Where about in Lancaster?
Oh, Race Avenue. It's over by F&M.
Okay.
Yeah, we were like white trash over there. No, we had 6 kids, heathens.
Not heathens.
Mom does the best she could.
Yeah.
My dad described it. They wanted 12 kids, went broke at 3 and had 6.
Okay. So you wanted 12 kids, got broke at 3, had 3 more, but at least you got halfway there, though.
Whatever. Yeah. No, nice parents. Good siblings. No, I had a fun life. When I was 12, I had the opportunity to work down at the Rendezvous.
Okay.
Do you know what the
I remember the Rendezvous.
Okay, and back then,
Yeah.
it was open till 4 in the morning.
Yep.
And by 1 o'clock, it was 3 deep till 3 o'clock in the morning. From every bar, but every walk of life.
Yep.
Every color.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, every walk of life. And it was yo or me to meet or yo Satch. I mean, whatever. It just kept. And the guys I grew up with, they weren't that open minded.
Okay.
And I see a lot of them. They're still not. That was the best thing that could have happened to me, is just to learn that life is beautiful and just to be exposed to all of it. And, why should I hate these people? I'm hanging out with them all weekend. We're playing, playing sports together. We're whatever. I mean, so I learned the vocabulary, but never learned the hate.
Okay, copy that.
No, there was I watched transvestite people up.
Okay. Okay.
You're 12.
Yeah. I think the cool thing though about this experience that you're telling me right now is it really does paint a better picture for people getting to know you as to how you're able to dive in the way that you do with the work that you're doing with the homeless, because right off the bat you have a very open mind. There's a lot of compassion. I feel that for people that do any type of community work, one way or the other, there needs to be a huge open mind. There needs to be a lot of compassion. There needs to be a history of, like you just said, getting along, working with, talking with so many different kinds of people, living with, experiencing things with so many different kinds of people. It really broadens your horizons so that you can really look at people for who they are. They're people and they're human beings. It goes back to the porta potty that you mentioned. Like, these aren't animals. They just need somewhere to go, and they can take care of this place. Look what we're doing. So part of the reason why I asked those questions, like about upbringing, because it kind of helps me understand the person that I'm speaking with. Another thing that admittedly for me is, there's a lot of times where as a person in life, you can easily get frustrated with your own situations, with your own problems, with your own bullshit that you're dealing with. And then you see somebody going through something and it puts things into perspective. But you've, from what I'm gathering, have always had that ability, yes or no, to kind of like look at the bigger picture and be like, wow, this, look what's going on here. Look what's going on over there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I go through a bad day's a bad day for anybody.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, and enjoy your bad days. I mean,
enjoy your bad days.
Well, I'm just saying, acknowledge it. Say this sucks.
I dig it. Yeah.
That's like saying, well, I shouldn't. He's happier than me. I have no right to feel happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, say this sucks when it sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Get out.
Yeah.
You have a right to feel bad once in a while.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it.
How do you deal with the frustrations then in your life and what you're doing? When we talked a little bit about the politics, like when you're hitting a brick wall, when you're meeting pushback, when you see a need and you know how easy it is to fix it.
Yeah,
but
I flipped last week. We had a group clean up at Colleton Park last Wednesday, and as I was getting stuff ready for that, I got a call from my cleaner at Pins Park. Hey, they're throwing everybody's stuff that went to breakfast away.
wow,
And we have this organized where everybody moves their stuff away from the wall.
Okay.
In the morning, just like the orders are.
Yeah.
But somebody threw everybody's stuff away, and I couldn't get to it. And I'm saying, what? Oh, just
Who threw it away?
the county. See, yeah, they're just ignorant. It's a power thing. The shelters just that week, a day or two before, finally got, for the first time in 2 years, have more beds to offer.
Yeah.
They've been at capacity for 2.5 years, with, unless somebody left the shelter,
Sure.
so nobody could come in. So it sort of puts all the authority. We can only do so much if there's no beds to offer. So within a day or two of having 12 more beds to offer, they said, "Oh, we can
Yeah.
mess with these people
Yeah.
again, because that's what we love to do."
Yeah.
So
to throw stuff
they
away.
wait for these guys to go to the breakfast, to the community breakfast, and threw their stuff in a bin until there was enough hell raised by other outreach people.
Okay.
And they called and they said, oh, we'll give it back. We'll give it back.
That's a lot of
They
energy.
they can email this person and go in with the sheriffs.
Wow.
Oh yeah, let them stop at their office. Come on.
Yeah. So they just putting a bunch of
Oh
red
my
tape
God!
in the way.
And that took away so much enjoyment of the cleanup that we were having. Not for them, for me personally.
Yeah.
And then I had a roof load in at 1:00 right after I leave the
Yeah.
group cleanup. So it's like 2:30 before I can get to the park and see what's going on. And it's a little too late to do anything except for talk to a couple people and find out it was, you guys are doing it again. Like,
Yeah.
you haven't learned anything. All this that takes months to build, you guys
Just
can
ruin it
crush
just like
in
that.
a minute.
Yeah.
And what that does is crushes everybody's trust.
Sure. You're starting all over then.
Yeah,
Really?
exactly. And what do they think? That will scare them into going into the shelter? Is that intimidate them? And
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah. I think it also really shows. I can't remember the quote that for word what you just said about 20 minutes ago, but it shows you like how the break is in other parts of the community and not just the homeless. Like there's a
like
break
what
in the
Michelle
thinking.
said.
Yeah, like that really makes
The
me.
insanity of the well is the brokenness of the homeless.
Yeah,
Isn't that beautiful?
it's just like wow, like there's a problem, but there's when we start talking about the problem and how to fix it, you start discovering that there's another problem, but that seems to be okay because they're not homeless. There are people that are in positions of power that are making decisions that aren't really for the benefit of everybody because
Anybody.
it's right. You see what I'm saying? And so it's it kind of like scares me a little bit when I hear that because it's just like at the end of the day, like, how do you sleep at night? How it's one job to try to get everybody on board to understand what's going on, because it's easy to turn a blind eye. But when you're in a position of doing what's good for the people of a community, of a county, of the area, this, that, and the third, however, how can you sleep at night doing things like that? You know what I mean? Yeah. Throwing things away, playing the games, and the politics. The reason why I brought that up is because I feel like a lot of people are unaware of the amount of patience it takes to do this. Like you just said, the hard work that it just took to get to this point, and just like that, you ruined it.
Exactly.
And it's almost like now you broke the trust, so now you have to reinitiate that all over again, and so the game starts all over. How do you balance that, just for you personally? Not so much the work that you're doing, but like, how are you taking time to balance that in your head?
Oh, I'm not.
You're not.
My job is to take care of my people.
Yeah.
And I'll fight you with what I will work with you. That's my first choice.
Gotcha.
But
yeah,
my job is to protect these people and do whatever I have to do. When I started this, and like within the first 2 months, I said I wasted 2 or 3 years trying to raise the people in charge up, to give them the tools they need, to help them grow. I would love to see them feel what I get to feel, to see them do their job correctly. But I wasted 3 years where I should have just been helping these people up, and because these people are, so far as have proven to be not trainable.
Okay.
They don't want better. They can't see. I don't know why they'd rather live with fear instead of love, but that's what they choose.
Yeah.
And there's no room for that anymore.
Yeah. But you said you're not balancing that. As far as, I guess my question was like, how do you keep yourself from losing your shit every fucking day?
Oh, when I lose it, I lose it.
Oh, okay. You just let it rip.
No. I pray that I get
okay, there you go.
Here's what I pray. I pray I could turn this into something great before I fall on my head.
Yeah.
And do something to alienate.
Sure. But the reason why I ask is that I'm sure that there's a lot of pressure or stress in that regard, where you're just like, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm trying to do this. You guys are making this difficult. At some point, Dave has to do for Dave in regards to like mental, spirit. How do you keep yourself focused without,
me and the universe?
Yeah.
I was until last Wednesday, and I feel like I'm back on track. But until they could do anything anytime. But I was just telling other people, for the first time in I don't know how long, I feel like I'm walking with the universe instead of against it.
Okay,
and
alignment and whatnot.
Right, and doors are opening instead of closing.
Okay,
and hopefully they're on their last. They're just grasping right now and on their last grasp, because nothing wants to die.
Yeah.
Craziness fights for itself. Evil fights for, and somehow, somewhere inside me, I know for a fact that this is already done. We just have to connect a few more dots and get rid of a couple more obstacles, and we're going to get this right in my town, in our town.
Absolutely.
And there are so many, everybody that does the outreach work or has, has a facility that does something. They're all under the county's guys, whether it's funding or their direct paycheck.
Okay.
And they all see this and they all feel this and they are all scared to death to open their mouth because they will lose their job or their funding.
Sure.
And that's the only thing I have that they don't is
You don't have
independence.
that fear. Yeah.
And kill me, you can only kill me
yeah,
once.
yeah,
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So I don't have to keep my mouth shut. I don't want to be wrong, and I don't want to hurt anyone personally. But as a if it's systems, these are machines that are running over people, and this can't be done by a machine. It needs one-on-one help. No matter how much you change the machine's a machine,
Yeah.
and it's not working. And let's do something that works.
Yeah.
The money's already being spent to not have it work. But what we need to do, or what I need to do, and I'm hopefully getting somewhere with that, is invite the private sector and people with money that care, that would like to see this better.
Yeah.
Invite them in. There's a place called Haven for Hope in San Antonio.
Okay.
It's like the place where that exudes.
Okay.
It's so good to see you.
Okay.
They do this. They get money from the government. But they don't change their philosophy. This is the way we're going to work. This is the way everybody in this building treats our clients.
Gotcha.
And we walk every step of the way. And if they're not ready, they can stay there till they're ready. They can get their meal. They can use the showers. They can do, once they want to cross this door, we're here for them. And we have every agency right here to deal. Hey, Jim, they need financials. Hey,
Wow.
there's that.
So what's working on other places?
Yeah, it's working. Like San Francisco, like there's a documentary. I'll think of the name of that.
It's okay.
But San Francisco did it, and they're saying how they're spending billions a year on homelessness, and it's just getting worse. And here's what San Antonio did, and what the mayor said, hey, these are our people. We can do better than this for them. We need the community's help, private sector's help, and come together and figure this out. And that's what they did. And their homeless went down 70%, while San Francisco's went up that much.
Gotcha.
And I've been begging the mayor and the county commissioners. I said, we can solve this. All you have to do is come together, forget about your Republican, Democrat, forget about...
Yeah.
and just say, hey, these are our citizens. We need to do this better, and we need to come together as a community. And the community would bend over backwards to make that happen. They would be so glad, just like Colton Park
I
is.
was about to say that's a perfect example right there.
Yeah,
right?
why can't they look at that? And, we can be nice to these people. We can help them.
Yeah. Well, it's also showing you that they want to help themselves. They just don't have an opportunity to prove that they can. You know what I mean? And when
Right,
you,
and
when you
they
give
just-
them that opportunity, look what happens.
And yes, they'd love to talk to other people than
Right.
homeless people. And yes, they'd love to feel part of the real the whole community.
Yeah. Yeah. When we started talking, I said something along your passion. You said, well, this isn't my passion. What is your passion?
Everything, life.
Yeah. Student of life, living life.
Living life, seeing, like, I'd like to see more. Like, I got rid of all my wants, and that made my life a whole lot better. But
Oh, okay.
very few things make me, like my brother-in-law was just took a in-depth scuba diving class, like down in the Keys.
Yeah.
Like, that would be, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd love to
See the
get to know that world.
Yeah,
underneath
underwater.
there.
Yeah.
I snorkel in the rivers when it's clear enough,
Yeah.
and I enjoy. I mean, so much music. I'd love to be doing more.
Yeah. What was it with me? I know you got a band. What kind of music are you making?
The band's DC and Company. It's a 7 or 8 piece horn band.
Okay.
And it's my band, and I've been writing music, and that's been my outlet for it.
Okay.
We used to play a lot in New
Yeah.
York all the time, and back when you could sell CDs, where there was a chance to make some money. We almost got there years ago.
Yeah.
I have 4 CDs out, and but now
Everything's digital.
now I have you can use them as furniture boxes. We got paid more to play back then than you do now.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
It is still magic. It is still wonderful, but I can't afford to record, which if there's nothing to do with your product,
Yeah.
except for to get a stream for, spend $10,000 to make your $7.50.
Yeah.
It's just a whole different world out there. But like what I talked to Lewis about was, I have this song, "Just Let Me Lay Down,"
Okay.
that I want to record and do a video of.
Okay.
And I asked him if he wanted a part of it. He says, "It's going to be a documentary."
Yeah. That's what he told me.
All right.
Which I kind of like, now now that I'm getting to know you a little bit here, I can kind of understand where he's coming from in that regard, because there's so much that would be so cool to see it in a documentary type of, format with what you're doing, and listening to you talk, your music. That sounds pretty cool, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, and Lewis is a pretty good interviewer also.
Yeah. Oh no, talking with him, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
And once he gets with some of my friends on the street, it won't even be my project anymore. And I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
No, I love planting the seeds of seeing things go where they're supposed to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
man.
you put enough good people out there,
Yeah.
there's some beautiful things.
Yeah, and that's when you said your passion is life. I would assume that's the end result is just getting everybody on board to be on board with anything in life. Just be a part of life.
Yeah, sometimes I forget what I love. Like you get in the middle of something so
Yeah.
deep. And I've always been accused of not putting 100% into anything.
Okay.
Because I love this.
You're a
And
bit-
then
Yeah.
but what I genuinely love is taking a concept, an idea, figuring out how to turn it into fruition,
Yeah.
and watch people enjoy it. Whether it's a song, whether it's a food product that I've done, whether it's seeing people happy to clean up and other people happy to have it cleaned up. I mean, just seeing,
Yeah.
taking it from,
Yeah.
no, that's what I love to do.
Yeah.
But that being said, and what was said about me, I said, I'm going to give this the next year or two of my life
Okay.
and give it my full concentration, my full effort.
Yeah.
What else, I'm 60 now.
Okay.
Who knows if I got a lot or
I'm sure
short
you got
amount of time.
plenty.
Nobody knows, no matter how old. But I said, what better do I have to? What do I have to do more important?
Yeah.
Right.
I got you though.
So give this a year or two, and we're April's April's the start. All right?
Yeah. When that year or two comes around, what are you looking at then after? What's the game plan for Dave?
Who knows what life is, and hopefully, I'd love to see this cleanup thing building and being more self-sufficient by April.
Yeah.
Somebody else doing more
Stepping. Yeah.
in a good way, and then see what else needs touched, tweaked. I want to get our own Haven for Hope
Yeah.
started with that same philosophy that can't be broken. You know what I mean? This is the way we're going to treat people.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to donate because of it, don't donate. But we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see going. And then I think it'll be pretty good on its own. I'll have a ton more friends in Lancaster,
Yeah.
homeless, non-homeless. But no, I'd really like to get this One Love World tour going at some point.
Yeah. I was about to say, for you personally, a goal would be the One Love tour. Any traveling? Do you like to travel?
I do, if I remember right.
I love it, man. I think what you're doing is pretty goddamn cool, man, if I don't mind saying. I think it's inspirational. I think listening to you talk and sharing your point of view with no judgment, understanding the assignment, as they say in today's lingo. It's understanding the assignment is knowing what needs to be done in any situation and doing it. Not looking for anything in return, not looking for any accolades, even though I have no problem giving them to you because you're deserving of them. And I'm just meeting you tonight. Like I said, there's a lot of people, mutual friends on Facebook, which shows me there's a lot of people that know you, probably far more, and probably could co-sign that as well. So,
Excuse me.
Thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for being the selfless person that you're doing. I think it's pretty awesome, man. I really do.
It's my pleasure. Yeah.
You don't like
You know
taking
how-
you don't like
know
taking
how to-
compliments?
How do you answer that? But honest to God, I wanted to live in a kinder world. I didn't know what I meant by that, but my world is full of kindness in every direction, except for a couple of hiccups with
Sure.
the authority. People are donating. There's stuff on my porch every time I come home. Everywhere. My people on the streets, those people are kind to me.
Yeah.
My world is a kinder world. I got what I asked for.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can only consume what you can consume. I'm fine, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And to be in the middle of this much love,
Yeah.
I wish that on everybody, and that would change so many people if they had the privilege to touch what I touch in a day's time.
Wow. Amen, brother. I like it.
Cool.
I could dig it. I appreciate you stopping by tonight, man. I'm glad we did this.
Oh, what a pleasure! I hope to work with you all.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Dave Costarella, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure Lewis is going to drag you into this a little more.
Hey, I told
somehow.
him, I said, he ran it by me, and I just said, yeah, I'm all in, man. And I met him when we interviewed. That was my first time meeting him.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
I didn't
and
realize
so
it.
I kind of had started following him, which is kind of how I do my gig. I follow people, and then after a while I reach out. But with his conversation, I just knew this is a solid cat. I felt like the work that he was doing with photography, and even in our interview, the homeless came up.
Yeah,
I
no.
could tell how genuine he was about that. When he brought this up to me, I was like, oh man, I'm all in, because I already know where he's going to take it, and I trust his vision. So yeah, man, this was a no-brainer for me. I'm glad I met you.
When was that interview?
Lewis's?
Yeah.
That's the last one I have up right now. So that came out about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's on my YouTube channel. I'll send you a link on Facebook.
No, I watched the whole
Oh,
thing.
you watched it? Yeah.
Yeah. And your 49ers have a week off.
Yeah.
Lewis, not so lucky.
I don't know. I wasn't going to say anything, Lewis. I'm looking at the cameras. I tell you, that didn't age well when I edited his episode. It's all love, bro. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate you, Dave Costarella. This is it, brother. We're done.
All right.
Okay.